Picture this. You spent months gathering medical records, filling out forms, and submitting what you thought was a bulletproof VA disability claim. Then the letter arrives, denied, or worse, you get a measly 10% rating when you know you deserve much more. What if I told you that most veterans make 5 critical mistakes that cost them thousands of dollars in benefits every single year? And what if I told you that fixing these mistakes could be the difference between getting $1,500 a month versus $300? Stay with me because by the end of this video, you'll know exactly what's sabotaging your claim and how to stop it immediately. I'm about to reveal the insider knowledge that the claims processors don't want you to know. These aren't just minor oversights, these are massive errors that veterans make over and over again, and they're absolutely destroying their chances of getting the compensation they've earned. If you're currently preparing a claim or thinking about appealing a decision, this information could literally change your life. Before we dive in, I need you to understand something crucial. The VA system isn't designed to make this easy for you. It's designed to protect government resources, which means they're looking for reasons to deny or lowball your claim. Mistake number 1 is the biggest claim killer I see, and it happens before you even submit your paperwork. You're not establishing a clear nexus between your military service and your current condition. Listen carefully. The VA needs to see a direct connection between what happened to you in the military and the disability you're claiming today. But most veterans assume this connection is obvious. It's not. Here's what happens. You hurt your back during basic training in 1995. Fast forward to today, you're dealing with chronic pain, limited mobility, maybe you've had surgery. You think the connection is crystal clear, but when the VA examiner looks at your file, they see a 28-year gap with no documentation linking your current back problems to that old military injury. No medical records showing ongoing treatment, no buddy statements describing how your pain affected your duty performance, no documentation of how your condition has progressed over the years. The VA examiner writes 5 words that destroy your claim: not service-connected, claim denied. This is where most veterans give up, but here's what you need to do instead. You need to build what's called a continuity of evidence chain. Get statements from family members who witnessed your pain over the years. Find any medical records from civilian doctors who treated your back, even if they didn't connect it to military service. Document how your condition has impacted your work, your relationships, your daily activities. Create a timeline that shows your back problems didn't just appear out of nowhere last year. The VA wants to see a logical progression from your military injury to your current disability. Give them exactly that, and your chances of approval skyrocket. And if you realize your claim might be missing key medical evidence, don't stress, there's help for that. ReMedical connects veterans with licensed medical professionals who provide the detailed evaluations VA raters actually look for. You can find the link in the description box below. Mistake number 2 is almost as devastating, and it involves something called the compensation and pension exam. Most veterans walk into this exam completely unprepared, thinking it's just a routine medical appointment. Wrong. This exam can make or break your entire claim, and the examiner isn't necessarily on your side. Here's what you need to understand. The C&P examiner is looking for specific things, and if you don't give them what they need, you're done. They need to document your worst day, not your best day. But most veterans show up trying to be tough, downplaying their symptoms, not wanting to seem like they're complaining. I've seen veterans with legitimate PTSD claims get denied because they showed up to the exam clean-shaven in a pressed shirt, making eye contact and speaking clearly. The examiner wrote that the veteran showed no signs of mental distress. Claim denied. Here's what you should do instead. Document everything before your exam. Keep a symptom diary for at least 2 weeks showing your worst days. Bring a family member who can describe how your condition affects your daily life. Don't minimize your symptoms to appear strong. If you're in pain, show it. If you're having trouble concentrating, let that be obvious. If anxiety makes you sweat or shake, don't hide it. The examiner needs to see the real impact of your condition on your life. Your job is to make sure they can't miss it. Mistake number 3 involves something most veterans completely ignore: secondary conditions. These are disabilities that develop as a result of your primary service-connected disability, and they can be worth massive amounts of additional compensation. Let me give you an example. You get service-connected for a knee injury at 30%. Over the years, favoring that bad knee causes hip problems, back pain, and ankle issues. You develop depression because chronic pain has destroyed your quality of life. You gain weight because you can't exercise like you used to, leading to diabetes and heart problems. Each of these conditions could be service-connected as secondary to your original knee injury. We're talking about potentially thousands of additional dollars per month. But most veterans never claim these secondary conditions because they don't realize they're connected to their original military injury. The VA won't tell you about secondary conditions. They're hoping you won't figure it out, but now you know. Every time you develop a new health problem, ask yourself if it could be related to your service-connected disabilities. Get medical opinions linking these conditions. And if you want the proven roadmap to maximize your VA benefits, join our Veteran Benefits Blueprint private school community. The link is in the description below. Mistake number 4 is about timing, and it's costing veterans huge amounts of back pay. Most veterans wait until their condition gets really bad before filing a claim. They think they need to be severely disabled to qualify for benefits. This couldn't be more wrong. Here's why this matters. Your effective date determines when your compensation starts. If you wait 5 years to file a claim for a condition that was clearly developing earlier, you lose 5 years of back pay. We're talking about potentially $50,000 or more. The secret is to file what's called an intent to file. This establishes your effective date while giving you a full year to gather evidence and submit your actual claim. Even if your condition isn't severe yet, filing early protects your entitlement to back pay when it inevitably gets worse. I've seen veterans lose 6-figure back pay settlements because they waited too long to file. Don't be one of them. If you have any condition that might be service-connected, file that intent to file today. Mistake number 5 is the most insidious because it seems like you're doing everything right. You're submitting medical records, you're getting C&P exams, you're following the process, but you're not telling your story effectively. The VA operates on medical evidence and legal standards, but behind every claim is a human story. Your job is to make sure that story gets told in a way that highlights the true impact of your service on your life. Most veterans submit clinical medical records that describe their conditions in sterile medical terms, but what the VA really needs to understand is how these conditions affect your ability to work, maintain relationships, and function day to day. Write personal statements that paint a picture of your daily struggles. Get statements from family members, employers, and friends who can describe how your service-connected conditions have changed you. Document specific examples of how your disabilities impact your life. Don't just say you have PTSD, describe the nightmares that wake you up screaming. Explain how you can't handle crowds or loud noises. Detail how your anxiety affects your ability to hold a job or maintain relationships. The more human you make your claim, the harder it becomes for the VA to deny it. Here's what I want you to do right now. If you have a pending claim, review it for these 5 mistakes. If you've been denied, look at your decision letter and see which of these errors might have cost you. If you're thinking about filing, make sure you avoid these pitfalls from the start. But here's the most important thing. The VA system is designed to be difficult, but it's not impossible. Every year, thousands of veterans successfully navigate this system and get the compensation they deserve. The difference between those who succeed and those who don't often comes down to knowledge and preparation. You've served your country. You've earned these benefits. Don't let bureaucratic games or simple mistakes keep you from getting what you deserve. The information in this video could be worth thousands of dollars to you, but only if you act on it. What's your experience with the VA claims process? Have you made any of these mistakes? What challenges are you facing with your current claim? Drop a comment below and let's help each other navigate this system. Veterans supporting veterans is how we win. And if this video helped you understand something new about the claims process, make sure to subscribe because we break down the insider knowledge you need to maximize your VA benefits. Hit that notification bell so you don't miss updates that could impact your claim. Remember, knowledge is power, but only when you use it. Take action on what you've learned today.